Now, we're back at it again, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have been watching and paying attention to this Jeffrey Epstein debacle that has been going on for almost a week. Well, not even a week, more than a week. And I was just sitting back. I honestly was sitting there thinking, like, you know what? There's a way he could be on that list, and there's a way that he could not be on that list. Me wholeheartedly, personally believing that he's not on that list whatsoever, because this is something that the Democrats could have used against him during the 2024 election, and they didn't. They tried to assassinate this man twice. They could have just tossed out, oh look, if he was actually on that list, they could have just tossed out, oh, we have proof that he was part of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? Because if you guys have been watching the whole Jeffrey Epstein debacle, Democrats have been demanding that Congress release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Why is that? Well, that's exactly what we about to get into. And we about to get on their ass 100%. We about to get on their ass because I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? Let's get into it.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The Wall Street Journal just published an explosive story about Donald Trump and the late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we have known that they were friends for years, hence the photo you're looking at. We've exhaustively documented on this very program their long relationship, including the footage you are seeing of the two men dancing and leering at women at Mar-a-Lago. We know that one of Epstein's late accusers, Virginia Giuffre, says she was recruited into Epstein's circle at Mar-a-Lago when she was a teenager. And of course, Donald Trump went on the record with New York Magazine in 2002 to talk about how much Epstein likes to date young women. Quote, I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy, Trump booms from a speakerphone. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. But tonight, the Wall Street Journal says it has newly discovered textual evidence of the friendship between Trump and Epstein and the kinds of interests they shared in Donald Trump's own words. According to the Journal, Epstein's disgraced associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, put together a leather-bound book of letters from Epstein's associates to give the disgraced financier for his 50th birthday back in 2003. Now, to be clear, this is before he is first arrested for molesting and abusing girls in 2006. The Journal says these documents were among those examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed them. Now, to be clear, NBC News has not reviewed the documents in question. I'm quoting here from the Wall Street Journal's reporting. Here's the description. The letter bearing...
So the thing that they're trying to go with this is guilty by association, which ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. When I tell you these people they are just wild. Wow. Because they had files on this man for years. Ever since they've been in power. Nobody said a thing. Whatsoever. Nobody said a thing. This is the exact thing that they could have turned around and used against them during the 2024 election or 2016. We didn't hear nothing about this until Trump campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. Now Democrats are sitting here. They want to turn around and they want to demand that he release the Jeffrey Epstein files. When you people had the power to do that for 4 years straight. And to be honest with you, we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. Everybody that are MAGA supporters, Trump support, we knew this was coming. We knew they was going to try to do something really retarded like this.
Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is Body, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. Adding, quote, "It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person." I'll read it to you here. Voiceover.
How many of y'all really believe this? How many of y'all really believe this? Do this even sound like something that Trump would do? And Trump has been Trump for I don't know how long, since Nelly put his name in a rap song. Trump has been talking about tariffs for 40 plus years. Trump has been talking about immigration policies for 40 plus years. Literally, this does not seem like this is something that Trump, I don't even think this is something Obama would do. I don't even think this is something Joe Biden, with his whole mental decline, would turn around and do. Not 100 for sure about that. Not 100 for sure about that last one. But I don't even think this is something that Obama or Trump would even do. This is so obvious that this letter is a straight up hoax and it's fake.
Over. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Trump, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. The paper also notes, quote, in an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. Now, to be clear, it is not known if these letters, this letter in particular and the collection in the bound book, are part of the Trump administration's recent review of Epstein documents. The Department of Justice didn't respond to the Wall Street Journal for comment. The FBI declined to comment. Randy Zadrozny is a senior reporter for MSNBC.
That's how you know it's fake. This is made up. The Wall Street Journal is not a part of the damn administration. How the hell did they even get the power to release something like this? How did they even get the power to release something like this? You have to literally think about this before you just turn around and just automatically believe it. The Wall Street Journal is not in the White House. They are not in the White House. They don't have access to these files. So where did this even come from? They don't have access to none of these facts. They don't even have access to the White House like that. So where did this even come from? Where did this even come from? If this was released literally more directly up under him, like the FBI, then I would turn around and look even deeper into it. I still wouldn't believe it, but I would turn around and look even deeper into it. Because, bruh, where's the evidence? How did you even get access to this? But see, they want to play this game. They want to play this game, and Trump then turned around and then set them up without even setting them up. Democrats, Democrats party is just it's at an all-time low. Their favorability polls is at an all-time low, and they just trying to find anything. We gonna start calling them the Democrats party. The Democrats party. That's what we gonna call them. The Democrats party.
See, where she covers conspiracy theories, the far right, and the internet. She joins me now. Holy God, Brandy, what is your reaction to this?
So my first reaction was, I have read a lot of weird things on the internet, and a lot of, I've read through Q drops and all the QAnon lore, and some of the stuff that they picked up from the WikiLeaks documents were like innocuous emails about, getting lunch, or, let's go to a pizza place, or, really, really just random things that conspiracy theorists took and just pulled apart and created a whole sort of separate world, and created like a whole nother language to fit their conspiracy theory into. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and this letter, frankly, it's weird. I don't know how else to put it. This play is just very, very strange.
It's strange and weird because it's straight up fake. Look, you done created a fake article that's so doggone fake that MSDNC is literally like, they can't even, they looking like they don't need, she looking like she don't even really want to touch this. She is literally looking into the camera as if she don't even want to touch this. That's wild. This is MSDNC, one of the news outlets that hate Trump. That literally hates Trump. And they are looking at this like this is kind of weird and strange.
And so my first reaction was the conspiracy theorists are going to eat this alive. This is going to be catnip to them. And I think that might be true. I think that that's true. Because again, like, I think the MAGA fight against pedophilia as their like number one pet project that guides them all, I think will overcome even Trump's denials. But I will say, I've been reaching out to folks in the MAGA media world, and they've all told me weirdly the exact same thing. And they're really towing Trump's line. They're saying this is a nothing burger. They're saying that doesn't sound like Trump. I believe him. So it seems like that's what's going to be the narrative from the right, is that that's not him. Trump's writing plays now. No, not to be. But I think in the next day or two, and I'm going to be watching, we're going to see something else. This is just too good and too strange for the conspiracy folks not to jump on it.
Yeah, and to be clear, like, I'm already seeing right-wing MAGA people, towing the Trump line as a hoax, it's fabricated. I mean, we should be clear here. We have not independently assessed this. One thing I will say, just context everyone should understand. The President of the United States sues people for lots of money all the time, okay? If you publish this, you know he's likely to sue you. People should just consider the amount of thought that went into whether they were going to publish this on behalf of the Wall Street Journal, given the context we have seen of him going after entity and explicitly threatening them in their interview that he's going to sue when they're assessing the how believable this is or how rock solid their reporting is. That's not going to matter to conspiracy theorists, but it matters to me as someone who's trying to get to the truth.
Yeah, famous tabloid rag, the Wall Street Journal, right? Famous, anti-Trump magazine or newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. I have a lot of faith in my colleagues, the Wall Street Journal, so I tend to believe them. That doesn't mean, again, that MAGA world will. I can't help it because I keep reading it because it's just one of the strangest things I've ever seen. And I think people in our journalism circle.
Ma'am, that's because you know this is fake. You know this is fake as hell. This is the fakest doggone story I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. I can write better than this shit. This is wild. This is super doggone wild. And then this is super doggone wild. Come on now. You are the Wall Street Journal. This is what you do? This is what you choose to do. All right. We finna play this doggone damn game. It's MAGA all day, every day, 24/7. We finna play this game. Since y'all want to play this game, we finna play. We finna play. Go ahead, Trump. Sue their pants off. Sue their pants off. Because I'm sitting here in my auntie house all the way in Texas, and I can see that this is completely fake. This sounds like some shit that some amateur journalists done turned around and done put together. This story is not even convincing enough. It's not. It's not even convincing. This what y'all choose to do? So we gonna come up with another fake hoax after the Russia gate? That's what we gonna do? Let's play this game. Let's play this doggone game. Don't ever listen. I'm gonna keep it 100. Please play it. Please continue to do this, so that if I make the choice to run for president in the future, and y'all don't like me, I already know what's gonna happen. I already know what's to come. I already know how y'all gonna try it. I already know how y'all gonna play the game. Y'all ain't doing nothing but showing me y'all hand. And that's if I ever get into legislation and I become part of Congress and I decide to run for president and y'all don't like me, I already know. I already know. Fake news articles, national injunctions, mass protests. Come on. This is insane. This is insane. And I'm pretty sure Trump already knew they was going to try some shit like this. And that's why he was sitting there denying and basically telling everybody, not to worry about the Jeffrey Epstein files. I'm pretty sure that something like this was going to pop up. And if he did, let me tell you something. That man is playing six-dimensional chess. Six-dimensional chess, not five.
Circles are all sort of guessing at where the sourcing for this will lie. It is really interesting that they didn't print they didn't publish the actual letter that appeared in the leather-bound book.
Yeah.
Now, again, just sort of talking now, wonder why they didn't do that. Is that because, that might have ended up on a lawsuit some way? Does that open them up to lawsuits somehow? Is it like a case of in the Atlantic article around Signalgate, they didn't release the things at first, we got the denial, and then we get the letter in the end. I just think if this thing exists, knowing what we know, the truth is likely to come out. And the letter is likely to come out.
I agree. I had the exact same questions. Their characterization, they reviewed it, which suggests it's possible they don't have it in their possession by which to capture it for publication. It's just a possibility. I don't know. They said they reviewed it, right? So they saw it. But yes, I agree that that's part of it. But I just got to say, again, I agree that.
Here you go. He finna cape for his fellow Democrats. Nah, fool, they published it. That's why he's suing them. They published it. They on them. They didn't just review it. They published it. You can't sue anybody over something that they reviewed, but you can sue somebody over something that they published. Come on now. These folks think the American people are dumb.
It is such.
And this is MSDNC, so you already know we look into the comment sections. You got people talking about some Trumpstein, release the Trumpstein files. He's a predator. You already know what channel this is. This is MSDNC, and they already going ham. You know what? This is MS Bullshit TV. Okay, so that's their new name. MS Bullshit TV.
Catnip conspiracy theories, but them aside and just reading it in the context of what is known and established about Jeffrey Epstein. What is not conspiratorial. This is a man who trafficked girls for sex and abused them. Convicted, charged multiple times, got a sweetheart plea deal, multiple testimony of his victims, right? That Donald Trump and him were close and buddies and ran around together. And as seen here, leered at women. And Donald Trump said he likes women as much as I do. They're on the younger side. Take all that context and read that note. And what it feels like is that they share some secret that they both know about each other, that is a secret that has to do with sex, hence the drawing of the naked woman, and is the thing that kind of is the one thing that you have if you have everything. That's the meaning of what I can deduce from.
I think as a former English teacher, that's a careful reading.
Yeah, but that don't mean anything. What do that mean? You need hardcore evidence to even prove it. What do that mean? What does that even mean? There's a lot of old men that like younger women. What the hell do that mean? There's a lot of older men that like younger women. Okay?
Reading of context clues, I would say. Great job. Yeah, there's no other way to really take this. It's a very strange letter. It's obviously about women. I think that when you get to the end, and the dramatic reading was very, very good. Thank you for doing that. But when you get to the end, the question is, what is the secret that they share? And I don't,
Right.
I think there's a conclusion that any normal person, not a conspiracy theorist, would come to. And I think it gives us a lot of questions. And I think it totally supercharges the idea of release the Epstein files. I think that a lot more people are going to be calling for that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably so. You play right into Uncle Trump's hand. Let's go to the next one. Cause these fools think I'm done with them. Yeah, so let's go on over to let's go on over to Can't Stand America News Network. Y'all know, CNN. And let's see what they saying. Okay.
Tim body letter for his 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Now, their friendship, you'll recall, went back decades. The article details a moment in 2003 and some of the letters that Epstein's Tim body letter for his 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. Now, their friendship, you'll recall, went back decades. The article details a moment in 2003 and some of the letters that Epstein's one-time girlfriend and accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, gathered for a birthday tribute album. According to the Wall Street Journal, pages from the album are among documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell. The paper, citing people who have reviewed the pages, here's the passage about then-citizen Trump's letter. Quote, this is from the Wall Street Journal. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, the president's denial. Quoting again from the Wall Street Journal, in an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language. It's not my words. The president also threatened legal action, saying, quote, I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else. Joining me now with analysis and contributor, tech journalist Kara Swisher, host of The Pivot, and on with Kara Swisher podcast. She's also the author of Burn Book, a tech love story. First of all, Kara, your reaction to this Wall Street Journal story?
Well, I think it's just the beginning, actually. It's the first story. I think there's probably more to come. I think as he doesn't release this stuff, people will start giving it to reporters, things will start getting out, and none of it looks good for Trump, including this story. Even if he denies it, saying we have things in common, Jeffrey, it creates a feeling, and especially online, that it gets amplified and really weaponized in a lot of ways. So it's not going to end here until he releases these files in some substantive way, which he seems resistant to do, and could be possibly for these reasons. It looks bad for him.
Do you think he's going to follow through on his threat to sue the paper?
Sure. He does that all the time. I think they've got this nailed down. I'm sure Rupert Murdoch didn't. I mean, obviously Emma Tucker's an amazing editor at the Wall Street Journal, but this had to have had approval by Rupert Murdoch or Lachlan Murdoch. And so I think they probably feel that they are very much locked down on this information. And again, everybody's going to be doing much more reporting. And that's the problem here, the drip, drip, drip. And the problem for Trump is he was friends with Epstein during his most heinous period, right, of behavior before he was arrested the first time, and they were very close, and that's obvious. There's pictures everywhere, and as more stuff comes out, especially that Trump doesn't have control of, the online reaction is going to be massive, especially among his supporters. And that's the real problem here. These people have been bred on conspiracy theories, he's been feeding a lot of them and getting them used to it. And so it's like, it's like feeding children tons of toxic sugar. Don't be surprised that they behave like this. And they're going to continue to do so because it's one of the bearing walls of the way Trump attracts his fans to him.
It's feeding them feeding your kids toxic sugar and then calling them stupid and weaklings for liking toxic sugar.
Which you made them.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then there's the Elon Musk of this all. We played the clip of him talking to Tucker Carlson earlier in a social media post on X, responding to Megyn Kelly's statement that the Wall Street Journal story is, quote, the dumbest attempted hit piece I've ever read. Elon Musk said, quote, yeah, the letter sounds bogus. What do you think of that, given how much Elon Musk has been posting about the Epstein files in recent days?
I don't know. I'm sure he doesn't know anything. I mean, these people just say things off the top of their heads. That's my experience. I think it's a beginning story, and it's.
No, ma'am. These people don't just say things off the top of their heads, bro. They watching everything that y'all are doing. This is exactly why nobody is watching CNN no more.
I think they're trying to create a narrative here, and probably they have other stuff reporting they're doing. This would be my guess as an editor, that there's this relationship. There was a close relationship. That's really the problem for Trump is separating himself from Jeffrey Epstein, especially when.
First and foremost, nobody cares about the relationship they had. Listen, I know many people that don't listen to R. Kelly. Many people have been friends with R. Kelly. But does that mean that they did any of the things that R. Kelly did right alongside with him? No. Same thing with P. Diddy. You cannot sit here and run on guilty by association, because if that's the case, the whole entire goddamn Democratic Party would be in jail. All of the whole Republican and Democrats would be in jail if that's the case. You cannot run on guilty by association. Not in this situation. Just because he was close friends with him doesn't necessarily mean he knew the activities of what was going on and what the man was doing on that island. If he wasn't involved in it, R. Kelly had a bunch of close people around him, and he the only one that went to jail.
When his base is not just enamored, it's at the heart of. It's not like a little thing. It's a structural pillar of this movement. Is Jeffrey Epstein and all that he represents? So.
Well, it's also tied to the QAnon movement. I mean, it sort of
correct
is in that same petri dish, and obviously there's crossover with. I mean, it's part and parcel, or I don't know if it's a subheading of the QAnon movement, but they're kind of linked together.
It is. Oh, no, the QAnon part is critical here. I mean, they have trained these people to think these things. Remember Hillary in the Comet Pizza basement and everything else? They have eaten this conspiracy theory for a long time, and Epstein is a critical character in it. And to make fun of them is a problematic thing, and to tell them that they don't know what they're talking about after feeding them this stuff, it is very much linked together. And, you live by QAnon, you die by QAnon in a lot of ways. I mean, I think online, this movement, you just go online and watch the reaction. It is not Democrats, although I think Democrats are taking advantage of a really dicey situation for Donald Trump. But it's mostly the base that is going crazy on all these sites. And if you look at
yeah, they're definitely taking advantage of this. They are standing behind MAGA and saying, release the files, release the files. Something that they didn't even care about for about 4 to 5 years. Now, all of a sudden, they want to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Really? And you gonna sit here and say it's not the Democrats? Lady, stop the cap.
Look at the comments. If you look at some of the leaders, although some of them have pulled back, probably in fear of Trump, it's a real problem for him, especially as it gets amplified and weaponized online. And I think he doesn't have the power to stop that because it's at the heart of this online conspiracy world that is linked together in so many different ways and is incredibly powerful.
It's also interesting to me that President Trump is now calling this a hoax, a Democratic hoax, essentially.
Yeah.
It's something that's propagated by Democrats. I mean, the hoax was Dan Bongino and Kash Patel on all these podcasts saying just saying stuff and pushing this and fanning the flames of this, I guess, for views, for for profit. And now they are in a position where they've actually seen this. I mean, Kash Patel, I think it was to Joe Rogan saying, or to Glenn Beck, the FBI director has the black book of Epstein and could release it right away. He's now the FBI director. I guess he's now the guy. The black book, which was published, by the way, a number of times in, I think, New York Magazine, online. I think Gawker did it years and years ago.
Yeah, I think that the problem is this is all linked. These people were all for it until they were against it. It creates a real feeling of unease among the followers. And again, Epstein is at the heart of it. And so the problem for Trump is that they will keep talking about this. And he is, factually speaking, they were friends for a decade or more, right? And they were social friends. And he was on the plane. There's lots of facts here that could be, look, maybe nothing happened. Maybe something happened. Who knows? But if he doesn't release the files, there's no way of removing himself from this controversy. And look, some people could have just gone to that island and left. I know a lot of people who did that. Some people could have just gone to dinner at his house and left. You shouldn't, there are problematic issues here in this thing, and including fraud, like what is made up, what's not made up. This is so perfect for an online disaster for Trump, who has been up until now very good at communicating online. Whether you like him or not, he's real good at it. And so we'll see where it goes, but it's not going anywhere good as long as he suppresses things and doesn't release things. They're going to have to release something to get this story to go away, because it's not one of these 3-day stories that then just moves on. This one has staying power. And I said that a couple of weeks ago on Pivot, and I watch these online groups, and this is what animates them.
Well, Julie K. Brown, the reporter who, covered this story from the beginning. Incredible reporting on this for years. She pointed out to me last night, and we're about to talk to her again, that the autopsy report was never released. That's something it would seem could be put out.
They could, if they're trying to exonerate themselves. That's the problem. Here, what they're doing here is they're going to have to exonerate themselves for something we don't know. And so wouldn't it be good to show us? And the only, what people do in their mind is, well, if he's not releasing it, maybe something's there. That's how people react. And the problem for Trump is that there's enough pictures, there's enough plane rides, there's enough of this. And so if he's very interested in putting this thing to bed, as I'm sure he is, he's going to want this drumbeat to stop, because it only gets worse around this, because it's so animated by online conspiracy theories, which you're seeing the power of right now. And unfortunately, it's being brought to bear to Trump as opposed to him unleashing it, on others. They're eating
a guy who's been spreading conspiracy theories about others for years.
Correct.
There's an irony there, obviously.
There's a karma to it.
Kara Swisher, thanks so much.
So see, now you hear that. So now we finna go back to MS Bullshit TV, and here's some more about it. And here's some more about it.
A naked woman. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. Inside the outline of this naked woman, the journal reports the letter from Trump to Epstein was styled as an imaginary conversation between the two. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Trump, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Now, I should note, NBC News has not independently verified the existence of that letter, which was written before Epstein was ever arrested, and that Trump vehemently denies the letter's existence. In fact, he told the journal, quote, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal."
If anybody could listen to this dog,
I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words. And of course, because we are talking about Donald Trump, he threatened to sue the Wall Street Journal for publishing this article. But this isn't just...
As he freaking should, lady. As he should. You go ahead, sue their pants off. Now, the next thing that we're going to go to is, so Trump directs Bondi to release the grand jury records now of Jeffrey Epstein. So that's where we're gonna go to, cause we all heard MS Bullshit TV and Can't Stand America News Network and what they got to say. Let's see what Trump got to say. Let's see what Trump done did.
It's just past 10:30 in the nation's capital. All right, let's get the latest on Epstein, the situation that continues to unfold. We do know that the Wall Street Journal released some exclusive reporting today, and President Trump responding to that reporting with this on Truth Social. He says the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they'll be sued. Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Leavitt and the president and by President Trump that the letter was a fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they're going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. The press has to learn to be truthful and not rely on sources that probably don't even exist. Trump has already beaten George Stephanopoulos, ABC, 60 Minutes, CBS, and others, and looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. It has truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag, and writing defamatory lies like this shows their desperation to remain relevant. If there were any truth at all on the Epstein hoax as it pertains to President Trump, this information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and other radical left lunatics years ago, Trump says on Truth Social. He finishes by saying it certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. This is yet another example of fake news. The president posting all of this on Truth Social, following it up with, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam, perpetuated by the Democrats, should end right now, the president says. Pam Bondi then responding to that, saying, President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. A lot to unpack here. Kalen Dees is here. He's with the Washington Examiner. Let's start from the beginning. Let's catch the evening audience up on everything that's happened today. What was that lengthy Truth Social post in response to? What did that bombshell Wall Street Journal report say?
Thanks for having me on, Austin. Yeah, so essentially the Wall Street Journal report was saying that there were a number of letters that were sent to Epstein related to well wishes. I believe it was around a birthday for Epstein, and it was, including Trump as one of the people that was sending these messages out to Epstein. And Trump immediately, from the gate, said that this is fake stuff. This isn't something that I would have signed on to. There's plenty of speculation out there about, people, coming to his defense saying, was it just something that he signed, things like that. But obviously, it's not a good look if it looks like, the president before, when he wasn't the president, was sending these well wishes, even though we all know that Donald Trump disavowed Epstein eventually, whenever he began to have some ill feelings about him. So yes, it's not a good look amid this talk, especially whenever we're seeing a lack of transparency from an administration that has vowed to release more files from the Epstein case for months and months, and to get that 2-page memo last week that said they're essentially done with the investigation and release of information. It's not necessarily a good look, although we see now that the president is going to file a lawsuit, or says he's going to file a lawsuit. So that's where it takes us now.
He is going to file a lawsuit against LiveNow's parent company. I should mention, this is what Attorney General Pam Bondi is saying. President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Do we have any clarity, Kaylin, as to where this is headed? What could come of this?
Yeah, so it's a great question, because if you go online right now, you're seeing a lot of people, a lot of influencers saying that this is Pam Bondi's move to release more Epstein files, which in effect, if you're reading the tweet as it stands, it looks like she's moving to release more files. But the question that really should pop out to everyone is, what exactly can they do to compel a court to do this? As we saw from Trump's post, he gave a lot of deference to the courts if they're willing and able to release some of these grand jury transcripts or testimony, as he put it. So the real question is, we haven't seen the DOJ yet make a filing or a move to release some of these grand jury filings. It's not even clear. They didn't specify what case this is, although the assumption is that it's the closed criminal case for Jeffrey Epstein, closed after his death, as it was never able to go to a trial. So we're assuming that it's coming from something related to that case. But the real thing that is perplexing is that this is something that the DOJ could have done a long time ago if it wanted to. They could have already begun this process. So it's almost giving off the impression that this is something that they're just now deciding to do, even after they released the memo and made it seem like that they were done releasing information for now. So it's quite perplexing from that standpoint, because you would wonder why they didn't do this before. And again, just because the Attorney General is saying that she's going to follow Trump's lead in order to do this, doesn't necessarily mean that tomorrow we're going to be getting unsealed filings. Though I will say it does come as, people have been saying, from our reporting last week, we got Alan Dershowitz to say that this was not a DOJ problem, that it was a judge problem. So it seems like there's a little bit of a bend toward that narrative from the White House.
Should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never wrote it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? It continues. Yes. Doesn't it violate some rule of journalistic ethics to publish a letter like this without showing it to the victim of this hit piece? Well, the people who have bought into every hoax against President Trump show an ounce of skepticism before buying into this bizarre story. So we're getting reaction from President Trump, Attorney General Bondi, and VP Vance tonight. You've been following this story now, as have we. Does it feel like it's actually possible?
Yeah, see, so now you heard that. Do any of us, by any chance, buy this bullshit story whatsoever? Because I don't. This don't even sound like something that man would do or even write. It just doesn't. It doesn't sound. It sounds like it's been put together by a bunch of people who just threw something out. This sounds like an amateur journalist it just sounds like an amateur journalist. So here we go. We're going to create another hoax. But just like they were sitting here saying, they are planning to release the grand jury transcripts tomorrow. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll give you updates on that too. Peace.